Welcome to this deep dive on AWS Bedrock and AgentCore. In the next few minutes, I'll show you what Bedrock is, why enterprises love it, and how AgentCore helps you build and scale AI agents. Then we'll build real world intelligence sales data agent using Amazon's own Kiro agentic IDE. And we'll also kind of look at how to kind of prompt your way to creating something that's deploy worthy. So let's kind of start with the basics. AWS Bedrock is a fully managed service that gives you access to the latest and greatest AI foundational models out there through a single consistent API. You can think of it as your one way gateway to most of the leading AI agents out there. And with Bedrock, you can tap into most of Anthropic's cloud models out there, Meta's Llama, and you have Stability AI, and you also have like access to Amazon's own Nova models and also Titan, all through like one single API. And kind of the main reason that it is a great fit for enterprise AI model is it kind of puts everything in one place in terms of the foundation model, all sorts of like control and barriers that you can build on top of it, like private VPC options, encryption, and the all the IAM integrations and logs. And you can also fine tune your own custom model and create RAG for domain specific accuracy. And obviously, it lets you kind of connect to all the other AWS services like Gateway, Lambda, S3. So you can just plug your models into real workflows pretty quickly. And the big win is definitely is the magic formula of control plus speed, and you get all the the guardrails. It includes security. You can audit it, and there's a bit of compliance also. And if you kind of take a look at AgentCore, which released a couple of weeks ago, and this can be thought of as a managed layer for building and deploying agents. So AgentCore kind of handles the heavy lifting. So we can focus on building the AI's own logic and bring in some sort of business logic too. And the main thing here to kind of understand is that Agent Core kind of abstracts the platform complexity. It takes care of compute, scaling, and reliability. So we can focus our energy on iterating on the models that we build, and helps us ship agents faster. So, in terms of use cases, Amazon did kind of release a couple of examples, especially in customer service, data analysis, even in content creation and process automation as well. So that's the landscape. Enterprise ready models lets you do multiple customization and also lets you scale your agent. And we'll kind of get our hands dirty and build a data agent and try to deploy it using Zone's own Kiro agentic IDE, which is a fork of VS Code and has a pretty familiar UI. If you are a heavy VS Code user, has all the basic functionalities, and they have this new Kiro button. And I would say they integrated spec-driven development into coding. So they have these two modes wherein they have the spec mode. I really like this. If you're building like a comprehensive big feature, I would definitely use this kind of input my RD, or which kind of you can further decompose that into a design document. And also like it kind of lets you create different tasks so that the AI has like context on what to build and how to build it. And for this demo, I'm going to stick with the wipe portion of it because it's fairly forward. So my first set of instruction to the agent is basically create a virtual environment for me, then go ahead and activate it. Then I've given it a list of dependencies that we kind of need for creating a trans agent. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of hit enter, and the agent immediately is kind of waiting my input on the first step for creating the virtual agent. I'll go ahead and enter it, and you can see it in the terminal. Yeah, it's asking my permission to activate it. I'll go ahead and do this, asking the input to kind of pip install all the requirements. While that kind of installs, I'm gonna go ahead and load my next prompt, which is I'm gonna ask it to kind of create a set of dummy data for me, like CSV. And oh yeah, you can see it's just like finished installing all the dependencies. And my next prompt is asking the agent to kind of create a CSV file in this structure so I can kind of build a data agent around this to kind of showcase the capabilities of building the agent and to kind of deploying it onto Bedrock. So, okay, it says it, yeah, perfect. So it just went ahead and created our sample data with 6 rows of sales data across like 3 product columns. And it has 3 months of data from Jan to March, and it kind of gives us the units sold and revenue data to kind of analyze with. And since this is a demo, obviously I'm loading amount of data here, but you could only imagine like you can just connect your data S3 or give it access through next. I'm gonna say like just create a, a requirement file for me with all the you kind of just installed. Okay, go ahead, give it the enter, and I'm guessing you'll just go ahead and create the requirement files for me. Well, now kind of comes the exciting part of building our actual agent. I'm gonna say I'm gonna create an agent that can analyze sales data using natural language queries. And this is kind of my prompt where I kind of give a high level overview of what to import and also mention like the functions with different decorators mentioned in the AWS documents, and also kind of ask it to create instances of Bedrock in Core app and give it high level instructions on how to run it. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit enter and just see how Kiro is kind of putting this portion out. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Like Kiro creating an agent um, with the tool decorator from Strands. Yeah, it's pretty much doing what I asked it to. It's pretty some kind of type conversion um, that it's doing. Before we can deploy to AWS, we need to set up proper IAM permissions. So our agent would need specific permissions to run on Bedrock AgentCore. You can do this manually, set up the trust policy runtime and the execution policy. But what I'm probably going to do is just copy paste this back into Kiro and ask it to do it from the CLI. So I'll start by getting the identity of what I've configured. In this case, the user ID, the account, and the ARN. I'm going to supply this, and I'll just mention the US West 2 location. And next, I'll go ahead and copy paste the trust policy and the execution policy, both from the documentation that we saw, developer guide for Bedrock. And let me go ahead and hit enter. And my kind of expectation here is to kind of get to JSON file for permission, another one for trust. Next, since I kind of gave it the my actual values that I configured, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of ask it to run these two commands. One is to create the role, and another one to put the policy in. And Kiro kind of came back and asked my permission to run these command, and it looks like I've kind of got an error because the role that I was asking it to create already exists, and I'm pretty sure this will also kind of return the same thing. And so the thing here is that I already have this role. That's the reason I got this error. So I'm not going to go ahead and change it. You can always kind of go back into your console and check what it had created. Let me just search for the role that I just created 5 minutes ago because it had updated the policy within it and also kind of added the trust relationship. So Kiro kind of did a good job at doing that. All right, now for the magic moment, I am going to go ahead and configure my agent and also kind of deploy it to agent Bedrock. And I just took these commands from the developer guide, and I also kind of gave it instructions when you kind of launch the agent. Start with a enter button wherein it kind of auto creates the ECR repository and kind of auto detects the requirements, and it selects no for authorization. And let's see if Kiro can do it. And my guess is no, it's not able to do it. It's not able to kind of go in and take over my, so I'm going to do it manually. Hit enter again. Yeah, just take the requirement file from there. And I did not want OAuth, just use the IAM, what I've primarily, since this is a demo, it doesn't matter. I'm going to nuke this account anyway after this recording. So, okay, it went ahead and kind of save the configuration onto a YAML file, and also kind of created a, a Docker file here, which is pretty simple. And let's kind of go ahead and launch the agent now. So yeah, just the same command that I gave, and I've just added the conflict on, because primarily I just ran all of these previously starting this video. So when I kind of go ahead and launch it, I can see in the terminal that it got a build error, primarily because of the codes. I'm going to change it. I'm not sure why it's not codes. So I'm going to launch it again and hope. Okay. Okay. It's checking the files. Okay, second version captures. It says it's launching now after all these errors that we got. And yeah, it's going ahead and launching it. And the error that we got was because of the quotes. And yeah, kind of gave it a wrong prompt. So you can take this as a prompt poisoning lesson. But once you kind of launch the agent, the next logical step is obviously to kind of see a reply we get while we invoke it. So my next So the next prompt that we're going to see is to kind of invoke our agent we just hosted. I'm going to go ahead and hit run. So let's go. And this is our prompt, which is like, what is the average revenue? And we got error, and I think the error here is because on how we kind of handle the JSON format that the agent is expecting. So now let's go check our logs and let's see if Kiro can figure out the error. Okay, so I found out the agent object has no attribute, so it went ahead and changed the file. But yeah, and it's kind of updating, um, redeploying the agent, and let's see if it can invoke it properly this time, or are we going to run into some other kind of yeah, so we can see it did answer all our queries that we. And you should also the same information, the agent that you created here. And I have 32 versions of this agent previously, so you can obviously create a new endpoint or use the default one. And your prompts, if you input here in JSON format, should also run similarly. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more AI development tutorials and let me know in the comments what kind of agent you'd like to build next. Thanks for watching.